It was day 2 of singer R. Kelly's sex trafficking trial in federal court in Brooklyn, with Johanna Pace, previously known as Jane Doe No. 4, taking the stand.
She was admitted to hours of cross-examination as the defense tried to poke holes in her story. CBS 2's Jessica Moore live in downtown Brooklyn with the latest on this. Jessica.
Christine and Dick, Johanna's claim has been that Kelly exposed her to herpes without her knowledge. And in what could turn out to be a potentially significant moment for the defense during cross-examination, Kelly's lawyers used the witness's own testimony to show that not only did Kelly tell her he had the STD, he actually physically examined her for the disease. Defense counsel walking into federal court for day 2 of R. Kelly's sex trafficking trial.
Looking forward to the truth being told.
Kelly accuser Johanna, at 9 months pregnant, returned for a second day of testimony. She told the jury Kelly mentally and physically abused her, making her wait as long as 3 days to use the bathroom and forcing her to dress up as a Girl Scout when they had sex. Their sexual relationship began when Johanna was only 16, and she says Kelly recorded it. Defense attorneys trying to poke holes in her story, painting her as a crazed fan. At one point, Kelly's attorney asked the witness, quote, "You were stalking him, weren't you?" The defense accused Johanna of breaking into Kelly's home, waiting hours for his autograph, and even skipping school to support him at a previous trial, which she lied to her mother about.
Their stories may have changed, their memories have faded, and that's normal, and that's what the defense is going to be zeroing in on.
Johanna also admitted she'd received 2 financial settlements from Kelly and had written a book about their relationship, which earned her at least $25,000. Kelly's defense accused Johanna of lying for financial gain. Johanna fought through tears as she read a journal entry from the day she left Rob, reading, quote, "I went to Rob's house and Rob called me a silly expletive. He slapped me 3 times and said if I lied to him again, it's not going to be an open hand next time. He spit in my face and mouth. He choked me during an argument. I had sex with him. I had oral sex with him. Then I became fed up with him," meaning Rob, and came home and confessed. At least 4 other women are expected to take the stand testifying against R. Kelly. And tonight we are learning that R. Kelly could take the stand in his own defense, but that would be several weeks away. We're live at the Brooklyn Federal Courthouse. Jessica Moore, CBS 2 News.
Jessica, thank you.
Federal prosecutors say R. Kelly is a predator who dominated and controlled underage girls. The 54-year-old R&B singer's racketeering trial got underway in New York yesterday. It's just one of the criminal cases he's facing. Joining us now for more on this is Jerika Duncan. Jerika, good morning. One of R. Kelly's accusers testified yesterday. Can you tell us who she is and what the prosecution is trying to prove by having her speak?
Well, you know, this case is really all about sex crimes. It's about conducting an enterprise, as prosecutors say, and they're hoping to show a pattern. They're showing witnesses. They want to bring forth witnesses that will talk to them, like Johanna Pace, about their experiences with R. Kelly. The defense, on the other hand, is trying to poke holes in the testimony early on, even in their opening arguments, saying, show me the proof. Where is the proof? But going back to Johanna Pace, she was someone that was also interviewed for that documentary that appeared on Lifetime, Surviving R. Kelly. The same story that she told in that documentary is the same one that she told jurors yesterday, that she was 14 when she was outside during R. Kelly's first trial that you might recall, when he was indicted on child pornography and later acquitted in 2008. She talked about going to that trial, attending it as a supporter, as a fan, and then later meeting him and actually having interaction with him when she was 16 years old. She said that R. Kelly took her virginity, that she did tell the singer that she was older than 16 at the time, that she was 19 years old, but then later told him after they had sex, she said that she was only 16, and that his response, according to her, was continue to say that you're 19 and act like you're 21. So right there, you're setting up the case for someone who knew that a person was underage and continued to have sex with them. But again, the bigger picture in this case is that they're saying R. Kelly led an enterprise. They're using RICO statute, the similar things that they would use for a mob or a gang, but they're saying that he led people, his associates, managers, to direct them to do different things and transport women over state lines for the purpose of having sex with them.
Yeah, that racketeering charge and that alleged the way that they say that he created this criminal enterprise. Definitely something that we've been hearing about from the prosecution. But regarding the defense opening and their opening argument yesterday, what case did they make to jurors? You mentioned that they're trying to poke holes. What kind of holes did they try and create?
You know, the defense, interestingly enough, went for about 2 hours, and there were a number of times where the judge had to stop in the middle of her argument. Nicole Blank Becker, who's arguing on defense of RKelly, and basically reminded her that she is to present the jurors with what evidence she can expect, or what evidence they can expect to hear, and pretty much give her argument as to why she does not believe that this evidence will hold. Instead, there were times where she said to the jurors, you know, how can you lead the enterprise and be the enterprise? And the judge stopped her and said, wait, I will tell the jurors and instruct them on the law. You talk about what the evidence is that they will expect to hear from during this trial, or some of the evidence that they will expect to hear during this trial. So that, I'm certain, had some sort of effect on jurors, because that happened a number of times. There were times where you weren't really sure where she was going with her defense, but really going back to the fact that, you know, RKelly had fans, and it was known that he had girlfriends, she said, and that these women who were with him knew that he had girlfriends. She didn't really say much, though, about this idea that he was having sex, allegedly, with underage girls. She focused on the fact that these women knew what they were getting into. She said that a lot of them were super fans and they wanted fame, and that's what they're motivated by even today. Interestingly enough, another person that was brought up at the very beginning for prosecutors was the late singer Aaliyah. It'll be 20 years that she died this month. And in that specific instance, what the prosecutors were saying is bribery took place because Aaliyah was 15 years old, RKelly was 27, and someone within his camp was able to get a fake marriage license, or fake ID, excuse me, to say that Aaliyah was actually 18 at the time that she was 15. And for the first time, we also learned, that I hadn't heard, that the reason behind getting married was the prosecutors say that RKelly believed that Aaliyah may have been pregnant and basically stopped in the middle of a tour to come to be with her and get this marriage license, hoping that that would sort of quell any rumors or wouldn't look as bad if she was in fact pregnant. But there are a number of Jane Does that are listed. Someone who said that she was a former intern at a radio station and then ended up locked in a hotel room, that she had, you know, some Chinese food and some Coke and somehow passed out and then woke up to seeing RKelly in the room and believing that he had had sex with her and she was passed out. Again, you're hearing from Geronda Pace, who's still going to testify later today. There are a number of people that we expect to hear from, at least 6, possibly more than that, that are part of this federal indictment.
Well, Jerika, these stories are shocking. We look forward to your reporting on the testimony later today, hopefully on CBSN and Evening News. Thank you. T-Mobile says a recent